today. The other day it was a Ghanaian student that invented the search engine, and today we have a Zimbabwean who produced a television that you do not need an electricity to power. Yeah, you heard that right. You do not need an electricity to power. And with the way things are in Africa, the issue of lack of electricity in some places here and there in our countries in Africa, this will be of a greater help for our people in Africa. Always, that's the joy that I have when I see things like this, and I'm happy to share with you, my fellow Africans who are out there watching me all the time, to also partake in whatever we are having in our continent and to see how we're going to grow with whatever we have. Now, the reason why this is different, is because this man is someone who never went to school. He never studied physics.
Going to talk about Maxwell Chikumbutso's latest invention, a self-powered television. For those who don't know who he is, here's a bit of background about this man. Maxwell Chikumbutso started a company called Saith Technologies over a decade ago. He has since unveiled an electric car which doesn't need recharging, a helicopter which can run on up to 5 fuels including paraffin, drones and generators which run on radio waves. What makes Maxwell Chikumbutso's inventions unique is that he did not go to school to study engineering or mechanics. In fact, Maxwell dropped out of school when he was just 14 years old. His ideas are as a result of research and visions from God. His latest invention is a self-powered TV. Imagine a TV that does not need electricity from your house to operate. This is exactly what Maxwell Chikumbutso's latest invention is. Here he is in action, explaining his technology.
This is our self-powered TV that we have designed. The first in the world to have such kind of a technology where a television is powered with a radio frequency. So as you can see right now, I'm powering this television. So this is the first television in the world that uses self-power to say. It is all in one. You don't need to put it on electricity or on solar panel or anything. As it is a complete solution. Behind the television, you can see that there is a microsonic energy device, this box. This is the device that is converting radio frequencies into pure energy. As you can see, the power of the cable was supposed to be here. On all traditional televisions, power comes here, but there's no power, as you can see. The television is working as it is. So in layman, I think this television is we can call it a self-powered television.
Maxwell Chikumbutso has in the past struggled to patent his products. 1, because he's not a qualified scientist, and 2, because his inventions apparently go against the laws of physics. But we sure hope that this self-powered TV will become a reality in people's homes, especially in Africa, where electricity supply is a challenge.
God always proves science wrong. When science feels okay, you must be like this to have that, God comes down and changes things. Now this is more of a God sent to our continent. Producing something like this which he never go to study it is in there. He was born with it, and this is the best. And that is why I am happy, the joy that I have. Now, while we are talking about a Ghanaian young man, 19-year-old young man, a lot of us said we need protection. We shouldn't talk about protection. Giving protection to people like this we talk about. They need people that can invest. They need investors that are ready to invest in whatever they have invented. Because relying on government alone, things might not work out the way we want to. Things will not reach the extent we want things to reach, because even when you have a one-on-one with these persons like this, they will tell you the government are not supporting. And even most of the times, if the government want to support, they release the money, there will be someone underneath that will still siphon most of the money to his or her pockets. So the corruption is top from top to bottom. We are all guilty of all these things. It is we. Now, if we do not throw away this idea, this thought of, okay, it has to be me, if I'm not there, it can't work. When someone is coming up, we try to sabotage that person's efforts by either the one or two negative things we do. And a lot of times, we hurt ourselves at the process because we think of the now. What about the future? When we are not there anymore and the children are the ones that are there, our own children. What about the future? And that is why most of the time we should sacrifice whatever we enjoy now for the future to be better. Now, apart from that, if this man gets his products to the market, a reasonable amount of Africans will get there and see made in Africa. They will pass it, they will cross over to made in Canada, to made in Europe and America. Yes, of course, I don't know. You can you can argue that at the section. A reasonable amount of Africans will not even patronize what these people are making. That is the truth. Because we have seen ourselves as inferior people. We ourselves have accepted that we cannot produce anything that is usable. When that knowledge is there. These people came to Africa and stole the art of our ancestors and went to their countries and continents and built on the arts of our ancestors. They built their civilization on the arts and sciences of our ancestors. The reality, check it. Do your research. You will see that all they have is built on our foundation. We are the foundation. Africans are the foundation. We are the source of all this knowledge. And that is why we have someone who can produce a television that do not need electricity. This is the truth. It's not a joke. You know, most of the time when some of us see this, we say, no, it's not true. It's not true because we have that place that they rewind in our senses, still rewind though. That we cannot do anything that is good. We cannot produce anything that is usable. And, sweetheart, it's painful when you cannot accept yourself for who you are. How powerful we are not seeing it. We are not seeing that we are powerful beyond measure. We are not seeing that. And so we also need work. We also need to put our heads together. Now, before saying, okay, someone is going to pick him out, someone is going to take them out, we shouldn't talk about them. What can we do to help these people? How can we help them? Like someone said at the comment section of the video of the 19-year-old Ghanaian boy, that the government cannot do this on their. It's true. The government, leaving everything to the government is not possible. Now, let yourselves know and your environment know that there's somebody that is doing something like this. Now, how do we get to these things? It's another question that should come to mind. How do we get to these things? How do we purchase these things? Okay, when you get to maybe your television have issues, you want to change it, and you get to the mall, you ask, okay, what about the televisions made in Africa? I heard that Africans are making television. How do we get to it? If a sincere person is there, okay, this is how we can get to, oh, we have one here that is made where, you get to it. But we do not ask questions. We do not want to talk about it. We want to keep quiet and be moving like people that does not have reasoning or senses. That kind of life will not help us anywhere. That is how that type of life brought us to the situation we are in right now in Africa. We do not ask questions. We do not want to know. We always want to sit down and then wait for the ones they come to give us. Wait for the ones they come to tell us. Are we going to keep living like that? It's a decision which we have to ask ourselves. We're going to make that. You know, I stumbled upon this today and I felt like sharing it with you. That's the way I am. I wasn't ready for this, but I know it's going to maybe worth a while. That we realize that we have people around us that produces things that we can use. Enough of that made in Europe and America. When you tell yourself, okay, I am African and I'm going to patronize Africa, from the clothing I wear to the shoes, to the utensils in the house, to everything I have in the house, African made quality things. Yes, of course. You see, sometimes you get there, the fear of, okay, if we write made in Africa, they will not patronize it. You see, you see something that is made in Africa, they will go and write made in America or Europe or Canada, because the fear of, okay, if we write made in Africa, it will not be patronized, because African products are seen as products that are so inferior to compete in the market. Now, when we start patronizing, and if there is a fault, okay, we have to relay this. I bought this, we got this, and this is what it is. It needs to be worked on. Then improvement will come. Then our economy will start bouncing back to what it should be, because we are the source. We are the source of the resources. We are the source of the wealth of the world. But how can we be so rich and be so poor at the same time? Then something is really wrong, of course. It is. Because it's not normal that the richest continent who produces a lot of resources that the world can think of is the poorest. You go somewhere, they'll be looking at you as if you are something that came out from, that is not even, you can't even compete with a human being. Because we ourselves have done this to ourselves. What are your thoughts and opinions? Personally, I'm so happy, and that is why I'm sharing this with you. Leave your comment and thought there in the section, and I'll see you in my next one. By the way, my Zimbabwean brothers, you're doing well. Hold him very well, protect him very well, patronize him, and send some to us in all parts of Africa so we also can patronize. Thank you so much for watching. Love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive. Do not forget to leave your comment there at the section. Bye for now.